Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. This is Amalia from Crafty Dreams Studios, where I help make your crafty dreams come true. Today we're going to be working on this really cool transfer. I've been dying to show it to you guys. This is our June Chalk Couture transfer. Now, as designers, we are part of a club called Chalk Couture, and we get these transfers a month before they're released to the public. So that's just a little perk about being a designer. And if you're interested, let me know and I can give you more information about it. So this is our June transfer. I've already cut it up. So you get this map of the United States, and it says "One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." And then you get these little like bursts, one for the top, one for the bottom, and then you get a star so that you can play with and design your own creation. I've decided to go ahead and make a shirt, and I'll be using our Couture ink in Midnight and our Couture ink in Candy Apple, which is our red. Midnight is our blue. And then I also have Couture ink in our white. So I'm not exactly sure what color is going to go where. I definitely want to, do red, white, and blue. And so just come and play along with me today. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. We're going to get started with this main image. I already have our Chalk Couture inking mat underneath, and all that does is protect the underside of, or the backside of the shirt, okay? Because our ink is permanent and it can transfer through the back. Since, obviously fabric is porous, so it can go through. It has, areas. All right, so let's get this off the transfer carrier sheet. So if you're new to Chalk Couture, we have a line of inks and we have a line of chalk. I'll be using the inks today. This is the carrier sheet for our transfers, which are unique in the fact that they have this little screen on it, so you can get crisp images, whether you're inking or you're chalking. All right, our ink is permanent, but you do have to heat set it. You can use an iron to heat set, or if you have a heat press or the Easy Press by Cricut, you can use that. For an iron, we recommend that you iron the front for 4 minutes, and then also turn it around and iron it from the back for 4 minutes to make sure that it is heat set. If you have an Easy Press or a Cricut Easy Press or a heat press, then just follow the directions that they give you for the material that you're working on. Normally it's about 325 degrees for 30 seconds to a minute on each side. So, but just follow the directions for your machine. So, I am putting it on fabric, but I'm still going to fuzz it up. Okay, and then let's start designing. You guys are going to see how fast and easy this is. So basically, I'm just trying to center it. And let me pick that up. So I'm just going by this and then making sure it's even. But honestly, it's a map of the United States, so even if you don't get it, perfectly straight, if you're off by a little bit, you won't really be able to tell a whole lot. It's forgiving. Let's see. That looks good to me. All right. Now I'm just pressing to make sure that I get, you want a nice smooth surface, because if you have a nice smooth surface, you'll get a nice smooth application. Now, these areas right here the silk screen is a little close to the edge, and since it is ink, which means it's permanent, I want to make sure that I don't go off the transfer. So I'm going to use some tape. Now make sure that your tape has really great contact, because if you don't, the ink could seep underneath it. Okay, and you definitely don't want that. So that's there. And I had already some tape cut ready for me, and I fuzz the tape as well. It just makes it easier to remove. I think I'm okay on top and bottom. It was just the sides. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to use red for the United States. Now, this is what our couture ink looks like. I'm going to stir it, but I'm going to stir it over here to the side. I want to make sure that I don't fumble it and get ink somewhere I don't want. Okay. I'm going to be using the angled squeegee, which for all intents and purposes is our medium-sized squeegee. We do have one that's larger and then one that's smaller. So I really like this size, especially for large areas like this. So this is the one that I like to use. Of course, you can use whichever one you prefer. So here, let's get started. And so the harder you press the ink into the fabric, the richer of pigmentation you're going to get. So this one is going to be for my son. And you know, boys sometimes like the distressed look. So I'm really okay with however. Let's see what happens. Whether I get distressed look or pigmented look. I'm not pressing really hard. But I definitely do have good contact. And this is how easy it is, guys. Just grab some ink and press it onto the transfer. Oops. And as you can see, I'm not using a whole lot of ink, and I'm pretty much doing cleanup as I go. Cleanup is what I call removing the extra ink that you have. Because you want to remove the excess. All right, so last bit of my cleanup over here. Now you do have to work with a little bit of haste, but not as much as our chalk. Our ink stays wetter longer. Now with our deeper colors, like the blue that I'm going to use and this red, you might get some staining on your transfer, but it doesn't hurt your transfer in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I am done with my red, so I'm going to close this up because, trust me, if I can get my fingers in it, I will. And you want to make sure that your fingers are clean, because if you happen to get ink on your fingers and then you touch your shirt somewhere where you don't want ink, it will transfer onto the shirt. Okay. See, since I fuzzed up that tape, it was super easy to remove. Now I'm starting over here on a corner just to get it started. And then I'm going to pull. Oh, look at how gorgeous that came out. And then I do have a container of water over here waiting for me to put my transfer in. But look at that. That came out so good. Now I'm pressing my fabric back down because I'm not done. Now I'm going to use our blue, which we call Midnight. It's a gorgeous blue, to put these little like bursts on. Let's see. Oh cool, I'll be able to lay it down. Oh, look at that. You can really use whichever one you want anywhere, but look, if you notice, this has like a little dip, which is to go over the Texas right here. Oh, that is so neat. I just noticed that. And then we have this one. Which I guess goes like this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry my ink. You can use a blow dryer. I'm going to be using, I have a embossing heat tool, so that's what I'll be using, because I don't want to put my transfer over wet ink. If I do that, I can pull some of the ink off. Now, using this heating tool is not going to set my ink. It's just going to dry it enough so that I can place another transfer on it. So please excuse the noise. And it shouldn't take too long. I just need to dry it enough. And I do have my inking mat on the bottom, so I want to make sure I don't get that too hot. Because when you go to set it, in other words, using the iron or your heat press or your easy press, remember to take the mat out. But do you see how crisp those letters are? I just love the way it came out. I'm just going to lift it off the mat a little. Just to make sure that I'm getting it good and dry all the way through. Now, if you wanted to, you could just kind of let this air dry on its own. And then come back and finish it off. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do that. But you can definitely do that. That's one of the things I just love about Chalk Couture is you don't have to, sit down, start a project and just have to complete it during that one seating. You can craft at your convenience. If you have only 10 minutes, then you can craft for 10 minutes. If you have half an hour, whatever amount of time you have, you can craft on your schedule. That's another thing that I love about Chalk Couture. I get to make my own decor. I get to make my own, clothing, personalized items. And I do it on my time. And we all know we are super busy. So this is an awesome way to craft. And as you can see, I'm just kind of focusing on the top and the bottom. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds. All right, there we go. And like I said, if you don't have an embossing tool like I have, you can use your blow dryer, or you can just let it air dry on its own. And then come back to it when you're ready to come back to it. Okay, so we figured out that goes there. And once again, I'm going to fuzz it, even though I am working on fabric, because it just makes it so much easier to remove. I don't know if you can see this, but I got a little drop of water on there. So, thank goodness that's not ink. So just fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. Okay, now I'm going, let's see, line this up. And it looks like it goes right there. Perfect. Remember to press down really well. And then this one's going to go on top. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my towel so it can start fuzzing while I ink up the bottom part. You know what? On second thought, I think I'm going to ink up the top because I don't want to have to worry about smudging the bottom. So let me go ahead and just fuzz that up. And this one, I believe, goes like this. Ta-da, there we go. Now, as you saw before, I am going to put some tape down. And I have some already cut, ready to go up here because that little point comes awfully close. And just this little section down here. All right, here we go. Make sure I like the way that looks. Perfect. And I think I'm going to use blue. I definitely want to see the blue pop. Look at that gorgeous blue. Oh, I'm going to stir over here to the side. And for this one, I'm going to use half of a small squeegee. This is the size of our small squeegee. And I just cut it in half and then cut that in half. So I'm going to press one more time. I want to have really good contact. Even you can use your squeegee. All right, let's start with the top part. And I usually start off, oh, I didn't press my tape down. I've done that before. You just press the ink in. That's how easy it is. Now I'm going to clean up, which simply means remove the extra ink. And remember, the harder you press, the deeper color you get. There we go. Now I'm going to remove it, checking my fingers. Look at that. Gorgeous. Once again, I have my water to the side over here. My art transfers are so sticky. It is sticking to my finger. Okay, so I have my inky fingers. I'm going to take a disinfectant cloth. You know, you can do Lysol, Clorox, whatever kind of disinfecting cloth you want. And I'm just going to clean my fingers so that I don't transfer ink to where I don't want it. But look at that. I am loving how this is coming out. Okay, all cleaned up. Now let's do the bottom part. Let me scooch that up so you can have a better look. Making sure it is all pressed down. And then just lay down your ink. Okay, now this is our June 2018 Chalk Couture release, which is available June 1st. So if you just love it, then feel free to go to my online store and you can order yourself one. And that way you can start making all of your 4th of July either home decor, shirts. You can make shirts for matching shirts for your entire family. So, as I said, the more you press, the higher pigmentation you get. Okay. Now, I know this tape got ink on it, so I'm going to remove that very carefully. And let's do the reveal. Oops. Oh, and there you have it. I just love the way that came out. Totally, totally love that. Now, you also get a star. So if I wanted to, you know, place some stars off to the side over here, I could do that. But honestly, I love the way it looks just like this. So I won't be adding a star to this one. But you know, when you order yours, you can design it any way you want. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and then click the little bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video. And once again, thank you for tuning in with me today. So have a great day or night wherever you're at.